Trump.
Well, I'm going to speak now to one of the most renowned psychotherapists in the world. It's Dr. Carol Lieberman, whose esteem is so high in the United States. She is known as America's psychiatrist. And Dr. Carol, a privilege to have you on the show. How much of a trauma will this be for President Trump? We know that he's a robust individual, but he came close to losing his life last night.
Yes. You know, what he suffered was a life-threatening experience, which is the first qualification criteria that you need to develop PTSD. But not everybody who experiences a life-threatening situation develops PTSD. Now, I think with Donald Trump, the most important thing was his initial reaction. You know, as I was telling you yesterday, that not only was that a strong sign for the world that when he got up, he continued to put himself at risk, and he's, going fight, 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 which really was his way of telling Americans, that you need to keep on fighting. If something ever happens to me, fight, fight, fight. Those are my last words, kind of thing. Those are my, that's what I want you to remember. And so he has, he's in the midst of this campaign. You have the end of the campaign in a sense, and that motivation because he really loves America and to keep wanting to be president, to make America great again. That will help to not allow him to go deep into what he could go deep into. In other words, if people think of themselves as victims and they just kind of lapse into this their disorder or their feeling of themselves, I almost died, and he's not going to be like that. He showed it right at the beginning, and I think he's going to put more of his heart and soul into winning, and that is going to really help him be a protective factor from sinking into some kind of a psychiatric problem.
Dr. Carol, he's not superhuman, he's not Superman. Will he need counselling? Will there be support for President Donald Trump, and will he accept it?
Well, I think he would be hard-pressed to accept it. My number, he can call me.
Yeah.
The number to call in New York.
Can he afford you, Carol?
I'll do it complimentary for free for him. I mean, because it helps me too. I want him to become president.
Sure.
But, it is hard for a man like Trump to give up control to a therapist, even let's just say not a presidential candidate or a past president, just anybody. If it's someone who needs to be in control all the time, it's hard for them to give up control to a therapist enough to try to go into what their problems are, because he would feel, consciously or unconsciously, that if he allows himself to sort of wallow in it, that will take away from his ability to be strong and finish the campaign as a winner.
Most definitely. Now, his wife, Melania, made a very moving statement, Carol. Let me read it to you if I can. Producer Maria has printed this one out for me. And here's what she had to say about her husband and that attack on him yesterday, early evening in the United States, last night in the UK. Melania Trump, former First Lady, said, "When I watched that violent bullet strike my husband, Donald, I realised my life and Barron's were on the brink of devastating change." Of course, Barron is his 18-year-old son. "I'm grateful to the brave Secret Service agents and law enforcement officials who risked their own lives. A monster who recognised my husband as an inhuman political machine attempted to wring out Donald's passion, his laughter, ingenuity, love of music and inspiration. The core facets of my husband's life, his human side, were buried below the political machine." Would you care to interpret that statement? What strikes me as the headline is that this is a woman who admires and loves her husband.
Yes, it is so heartfelt, and the words that she chooses and all of that shows that she really does love him. You know, people have speculated from time to time, oh, is she going to divorce him and all of that. Now, it just certainly doesn't sound like she would, except for the fact when she said, you know, she might have she does have some concern now, understandably, that she and Barron are at risk.
Yeah.
You know, which might make her think about, you know, should I divorce him? Should I protect Barron? Of course, they wouldn't be protected in any case, even if she divorced him. You know, people could still try to get to her in order to get to him, even if they were divorced, which I really don't think she's going to do. But what's interesting is, you probably saw this just recently in Florida. Trump introduced his son, Barron, at a rally. And Barron stood up. It was the first time that he had done this. And Barron stood up and he smiled and he, you know, was very proud to sort of be introduced. And it's really sad for Barron that this happened so soon after that, because there he was feeling proud, you know, not only to be Trump's son, but to be introduced as into this political arena. And now he's seeing that, you know, there's some danger that comes with that. So it was unfortunate that it came so close and spoiled some of that pure joy.
Carol, I'd like to bring Jennifer Ewing into this conversation in just a moment from Republicans Overseas UK. But you mentioned the family there. You mentioned Barron, who's 18. Donald Trump has 5 children. Can you tell me about how traumatic it is for the kids to see that footage of their father attacked in such a brutal way and possibly risking losing his life? How will it have been for them, and what is the impact on the kids when they see a parent imperiled so much?
Yes. You know, on the one hand, they would have known, they knew that there was this danger because Biden has been really exciting, you know, bringing up the rhetoric of what a bad man Trump is and all that, and inciting violence, really. So they knew at some level that there would be this chance, but at the same time, he's their father, and he is like this to, you know, anybody's father is sort of a perfect man to them and is infallible and strong and nothing could happen to them. And of course, Trump even presents that image even more. So it was a conflict for them. But of course, the positive thing, or the thing that makes it a little less traumatic is that that he rose so quickly from it, you know, that they could tell pretty quickly that he wasn't dead.
Most definitely. Read that tweet. Leave it up if you can, Maria and Josh. Ivanka Trump says, 2 years ago today, my mum passed away. I believe she was watching over Dad last night during the attempt on his life. I miss her every day and pray for the safety of the family and friends that she left behind. The tweet goes on, thank you for your love and prayers for my father and for the other victims of today's senseless violence in Butler, Pennsylvania. I'm grateful to the Secret Service and all of the other law enforcement officers for their quick and decisive actions today. I continue to pray for our country. I love you, Dad, today and always. Incredibly moving stuff. Carol, does this awful attack humanize Donald Trump in some people's eyes?
Yes, absolutely. And, you know, I think maybe it will also bring his family closer together as far as like attending certain things. Like Melania hasn't been attending anything in his campaign. There was one thing that she attended, and then she's been missing. And Ivanka hasn't really been around either. And I think that this will make the family, you know, all the members of the family stick closer, you know, come to more events and stick closer with him.
Most definitely. Carol, you know I'm your #1 fan. It's lovely to have you on the show. We will catch up very, very shortly. Let me tell you, we've got an update in the football. Dr. Carol Liedman, thank you. We'll definitely speak soon. That story's not going to go away. We've got an update in the Euros. And the England fans are cheering. Is it coming home? Let me tell you that England have equalised against Spain in the final of the Euros 2024. That is a fan park in London, and they've gone absolutely crazy. Of course they have. It looked like we were down